Have you ever tried to change a bad habit or start a new good one, only to find yourself back where you started a few weeks later? You're not alone. We often think big, drastic changes are the key to success. But what if the secret to incredible transformation isn't about massive effort, but about tiny, almost invisible changes? This is the core idea of James Clear's groundbreaking book, Atomic Habits. Today, we're going to unpack the entire book, chapter by chapter, and turn it into one powerful, actionable narrative. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap to building a better life, one tiny habit at a time. So what are atomic habits? They're the small, incremental changes that seem insignificant on their own, but compound into remarkable results over time. Think of it like this. If you get just 1% better each day, you'll be nearly 37 times better by the end of the year. But if you get 1% worse, you'll decline to almost zero. The effects of your habits multiply. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. To understand how to build good habits and break bad ones, we need to understand the four-step pattern behind every habit. It's called the habit loop, and it consists of a cue, a craving, a response, and a reward. The cue triggers your brain to initiate a behavior. The craving is the motivational force behind the habit. The response is the actual habit you perform. And the reward is the end goal, which satisfies the craving and teaches your brain to repeat the loop in the future. To build good habits, we need to make them obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. These are the 4 laws of behavior change. Let's break them down. First, make it obvious. This is about the cue. Many of our habits are so automatic, we don't even notice the cues that trigger them. The first step is to become aware of your current habits. A great technique is the habit scorecard. Simply list your daily habits and mark them as positive, negative, or neutral. This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness. Once you see what you're doing, you can decide what you want to change. A powerful way to make a new habit obvious is through implementation intentions. This is a plan you make beforehand, about when and where you'll act. The formula is simple. I will do behavior at time and location. For example, I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. It's incredibly effective because it removes ambiguity. Another strategy is habit stacking. You link a new habit to an existing one. Formula is, after my current habit, I will do my new habit. For instance, after I pour my morning coffee, I will do 10 push-ups. You're leveraging the momentum of an established routine. Finally, design your environment for success. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow. Want to eat healthier? Place fruit on the counter, not in a drawer. Make the cues for your good habits visible and unavoidable. Now for the second law. Make it attractive. This tackles the craving. The more appealing a habit is, the more likely you are to do it. One way to do this is through temptation bundling. You pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, you can only watch your favorite Netflix show while you're on the treadmill. This links the immediate reward of entertainment with the long-term benefit of exercise. We are also heavily influenced by the people around us. Our culture sets our expectations for what's normal. So, join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. If you want to get fit, surround yourself with fit people. Their actions will seem more attractive and achievable. We imitate the habits of 3 groups: the close, the many, and the powerful. By curating your social environment, you make your desired habits seem more attractive. The third law is to make it easy. This is about the response. We are naturally drawn to the path of least resistance. So, the easier a habit is, the more likely you are to do it. The key is to reduce the friction associated with good habits. Want to go to the gym in the morning? Lay out your workout clothes the night before? Want to write every day? Open your laptop to a blank document. Each step you remove between you and the habit makes it easier to start. This leads us to the 2-minute rule. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Read before bed becomes read 1 page. Run 3 miles becomes put on my running shoes. The goal isn't to achieve a huge result immediately. It's to master the art of showing up. Once you've established the habit of starting, you can gradually increase the duration and difficulty. This principle of least effort is fundamental to our behavior. Finally, the 4th law. Make it satisfying. This is all about the reward. We are more likely to repeat a behavior if the experience is satisfying. problem is that many good habits have a delayed reward. The benefit of working out today might not be visible for months. To fix this, we need to add a little bit of immediate gratification. A great way to do this is with a habit tracker. Every time you complete your habit, you get to check a box. This small action provides immediate visual proof of your progress and feels satisfying. The tracker itself becomes a reward. Your goal becomes simple: don't break the chain. Seeing an unbroken streak of check marks is incredibly motivating. If you do miss a day, the rule is to never miss twice. One slip-up is an accident. 2 is the start of a new, negative habit. Making progress is satisfying, and a habit tracker is a simple way to visualize your progress and keep yourself motivated. Now, what about breaking bad habits? We simply invert the 4 laws. To break a bad habit, make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. First, make it invisible. Reduce your exposure to the cues that trigger your bad habits. If you can't stop checking your phone, leave it in another room for a few hours. If you eat too much junk food, don't keep it in the house. You can't crave what you don't see. It's much easier to avoid a temptation than to resist it. This is the power of environmental design in reverse. Second, make it unattractive. Reframe your mindset about the bad habit. Instead of thinking, "I'm quitting smoking, I'm missing out," think, "I'm becoming a non-smoker. I'm improving my health and saving money." Highlight the benefits of avoiding the bad habit. Focus on the negative consequences of the action. Remind yourself that smoking doesn't relieve stress. It creates it by feeding a nicotine addiction. By changing your perspective, you change the craving. Third, make it difficult. Increase the friction between you and the bad habit. Want to watch less TV? Unplug it after each use and put the remote in another room. Want to spend less money on impulse buys? Leave your credit cards at home and only carry the cash you need? By adding extra steps, you give yourself a moment to pause and consider your actions, often stopping the habit in its tracks. A commitment device is a choice you make in the present that locks in better behavior in the future. And fourth, make it unsatisfying. Make the consequences of the bad habit immediate and painful. An accountability partner is great for this. Tell a friend your goal and agree on a penalty if you fail. For example, if you skip a workout, you have to pay them $10. The immediate pain of losing money is often more powerful than the distant hope of getting in shape. Another method is a habit contract, where you create a formal agreement with yourself and others, outlining the consequences of breaking your commitment. So, to recap the entire system, the fundamental process of changing your behavior is to build a new identity. Decide the type of person you want to be. Then, prove it to yourself with small wins. Each time you perform a tiny habit, you are casting a vote for that new identity. Use the 4 laws to engineer your habits. To build a good habit, make the cue obvious, the craving attractive, the response easy, and the reward satisfying. To break a bad habit, make the cue invisible, the craving unattractive, the response difficult, and the reward unsatisfying. Atomic Habits isn't about a single hack. It's a complete system for continuous improvement. It's about understanding that real change comes from the compound effect of hundreds of small decisions and tiny actions that, over time, add up to something truly remarkable. It's about focusing on your systems, not just your goals. Start small, be consistent, and watch as your atomic habits build a new you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this summary gives you the tools you need to start making meaningful changes in your own life. If you found this valuable, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into life-changing books. Let me know in the comments which atomic habit you're going to start today. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.